Thank you, Andy Raymond. Let's look at how they line up here. Jim Richards on pole position with John Faulkner in the Cummins Tech Oil Chev alongside him. Row 2, Brad Jones in the Kmart tyre car and Kim Jane in the Southern Motors Pontiac. Row 3, Dean Wanless, the Newcastle Metals Thunderbird. Kevin Schwantz in the Team Pepsi Lumina. Row 4, Adam Pay in the Pontiac GP and Les Kennywell in the Pontiac GP as well. Row 5, last on the grid, 14, Neville Lance in the Slumber King Ford Thunderbird.
A full lap journey for the NASCARs, and joining us again knows plenty about the sport, Charlie O'Brien. The NASCARs around Mount Panorama.
Well, they're pretty scary to think about that, Andy. They're going very fast down the straightaway. I was talking to Jim Richards earlier this morning, and in practice yesterday, they were talking about 302 kilometres an hour. So that's pretty quick.
Well, it's a rolling start here. They're underway. Looks like a good start there from Bradley Jones, I think, who got the whole shot off the grid. Yes, there he is. A big pack of them coming up the hill for the first time. John Faulkner on the outside, these two going side by side up the hill, and boy, they've been in the wars in the last couple of weeks.
It's an interesting battle within itself. Faulkner, who is your new race leader, V. Jones, Jimmy Richards, the bright yellow Valvoline car, Kevin Schwantz also in there, Kim Jane in the 75 car.
Take race cam with Bradley Jones, the Kmart Chevy Lumina, up behind John Faulkner. And they really have to guide them down the mountain here. These things weigh around 1,600 kilograms, about 200 kilograms heavier than our domestic 5-litre touring cars. And they haven't got the brakes down the inside. Bradley Jones, a very tidy move down the inside of Faulkner, under brakes through Forest Elbow. So Brad gets position 1 back and leads him down Conrod Straight for the first time. Faulkner in second position. He'll try and get a draft from the back of his car. And there's Jimmy Richards, our pole man. Didn't make a good start, but he's right on the bumper of Faulkner as they come down toward Caltex Chase.
Great move there from Jones down towards the chase, and this would be nice and hairy. As Charlie O'Brien has alluded to, the brakes aren't necessarily your best friend in a NASCAR around Mount Panorama.
Well, to give you an idea, Andy, the brakes in these cars are 11 inches in size compared to the Group A cars being 14 inches, and these cars weigh about 300 kilos heavier, so that works out to spell disaster. So if the races were longer, it would be a problem.
You don't have to be Einstein to figure out your mathematics there.
And they come across the start-finish line for the first of 4 laps. Brad Jones in the Kmart Chevy Lumina. Jim Richards has a look up the inside. There's Kim Jane tucked in beside him. Jim not able to do anything in the Bob Jane T-Mart's car in third position. So it's still Jones, Faulkner. Richards has a big run up the inside. He's coming under fire from Jane in the Pontiac as they come up over the rise for the next time. Brad Jones, look at Richards there, up behind John Faulkner. Jane takes the other position right up behind our race leader. They're side by side, and Faulkner sweeps across in front of Jones. Jimmy Richards coming under increasing fire from Jane on the inside as we take race cam aboard Brad Jones Chevy Lumina once again in second position as they come up toward BP Cutting. There's one in trouble. It's car 95, not sounding very sweet, Bob Middleton.
I did ask Kevin last night what he thought about the track, and he said, well, I'd love to ride around here on a motorcycle just to sightsee. You would never catch me racing one around here.
Look at this big run down the outside, Charlie. Kim Jane has absolutely spread eagle to Bill. I don't know what he did there. He came out of the elbow much faster and passed 3 cars in one hit to lead them into Caltex Chase.
This wasn't a plan of Jim Richards. I was speaking to him earlier before the race started. Jim thought that he could lead this race fairly comfortable, so I'm sure he's going to have to work pretty hard to get back.
How could Kim Jane have got such an enormous advantage down the straight that time around?
Well, maybe the other cars held themselves up a little bit coming onto the main straight, and that allowed Kim to get a better run.
Well, there you see Faulkner and Jim Richards got inside Brad Jones through Murray's corner that time around. So positions changing up and down the field. The NASCAR boys getting serious here.
I think Jim's about to make his move.
Adam Pay in the number 85 car. There's plenty of panel damage there. Maybe it's Schwantz behind him. The battle continues, and there's the battle for second. There's Faulkner, Richards, Jones, Wanless, Pay, Schwantz, Neville Lance, a speedway aficionado, but the guy they're all trying to catch is Kim Jane, who really, Mark, seems to have a
what's this?
win.
There's a touch there.
Oh, Jim Richards puts the squeeze on John Faulkner. They're side by side through Repco. They're flat out. So, race cam again. And look, it's great shot from race cam there as Jim Richards sneaks inside Kim Jane through Forest Elbow. Jimmy can now lead him down the straight. Brad Jones takes advantage. He gets up inside John Faulkner's car as well. So positions have changed completely this time around. Jim Richards leads him down the straight. Kim Jane in third. Brad Jones trying to come back at him on the inside. They're side by side as they come into Caltech's chase. Jones sneaks down the inside of Jane. So now it's Richards and Jones at the front of the pack.
There's 1 and 2. Jimmy Richards, Bradley Jones into the first left-hander. And this is the last time around. What can Bradley Jones pull out? We'll wait and see. He's had a race of mixed fortunes. He was right up there to start the race on the first lap leading, and all of a sudden he went back to 5th place. These positions have been changing by the corner. The NASCAR's providing plenty of entertainment. Once again, Jones probing on the inside. It's not to be. Jimmy shut the door.
This is pretty serious here. Brad's got the newer car of the two. Jim's is a couple of years old, and I think Brad's going to give him a big hurry up.
So up into VB cutting, we take race cam again for the Kmart Chevy.
Brad Jones there, Jimmy Richards. What a great view from the Jones vehicle as they head up over the top. As Charles said, this is a very quick part of the circuit. And really, guys, it doesn't matter what car you're in. If you've got your foot to the floor, it's fast on top of the mountain.
Looks like Jimmy's using plenty of road there, Charlie.
It sure is. The car's working extremely well. It's keeping in there pretty good. These cars, as I say, are very, very heavy, and they're hard to handle on a track like this.
So Brad Jones nice and wide over the top there, Mark.
Yeah, it looked like a very unusual line through McPhillamy Park. He may have got a little bit out of shape, but that certainly allowed Jim Richards to open up 4 or 5 car lengths on the Kmart Chevy. Last time down toward Forest Elbow. Faulkner has a look, gives Brad Jones a big look of his car in the rearview mirror. Brad almost bouncing off the concrete wall last time out of the elbow, and down Conrod straight for the final time. Kim James not out of this yet. He gets up behind the Cummins car for the final run down Conrod.
Gee, that Brad Jones vehicle has got plenty of horsepower. That's made up a lot of ground on Richards. Caltech's chase for the last time. Jones moves to the outside. The master on the inside. There you see the big Valvoline side. Jimmy Richards again with the back out. Heading down, we've got 1 corner to go.
What can Bradley do here? He's on the outside. Jim's got a better line on the inside. Moves over to take up his turn-in point. No contact of metal there. Bradley Jones has to take second. And he's coming under fire from Faulkner across the line. He may just have got there with Kim Jane in 4th position. Exciting stuff from the NASCARs in their first visit to Mount Panorama.
Let's have a look at our Shell race score. The NASCARs, it was Jimmy Richards, car number 1, position number 1. Second place by the barest of margins, Bradley Jones. John Faulkner was 3rd, Kim Jane 4th, rounding out the 5. Familiar name, Kevin Schwantz.